How can limited time affect the workplace? Limited time can affect the workplace by having documents that need to be typed, proofread, edited, and emailed and or mailed out by the end of the day. Could impact the workplace because it may not be enough time. There could be many letters that need to go out before the day is out. There was an example of time when I worked for City Hall where we had a tremendous amount of mail that had to go out, and it would have taken so much more time had I not been aware of the mail merger or letter merging, which made it simpler to get all the letters out by the end of the day. It was about 20 letters that had to go out, and they were gotten out by the end of the day due to the help of the mail merge and letter merge. As far as the letters itself, I just had to change the names, but the letters stayed the same. I didn't have to type the entire letter over for each 20 vendors or customers that we had to get the letters out to. And also the envelopes, envelope merger also helped with that. I did anticipate it because it's a high volume office, and it also was anticipated on a regular basis, whether day to day or weekly. And I did adjust and adapt to it because I was aware of it and knew that it was going to happen, because it always has happened in the past. Too much work can impact the workplace because, as not having enough time, there's not enough time in the day to get everything done. So when it's too much work, you have to prioritize which assignment or which task should be tackled first. Therefore, everything could possibly get done, but too much work at times overlapped into the following day. Again, working for City Hall, there was a lot of things that we may not have accomplished within that 8-hour shift that we in turn would pick up from where we left off the next day. How can other people impact the workplace by not doing their part? City Hall, we had to prepare for council meetings, which happened or took place every other Wednesday, and we each had a portion of the packet that we had to work on, so that way we could put it all together for the council members so that they would have the information that they needed. And if someone was out or absent or didn't do their part, it would mess up the line. It was like a line. One girl would type up the information. One of us would double check the information, and the third person would double check the first and second person's work. And we had to input different documents or items. Sometimes we had to have plaques for those that we were recognizing during that week's meeting. So if no one did their part or didn't type their part correctly, it would hold up the line so that we were unable to get the packets out in a timely manner. How can others, employees, conflict when they don't get along? Prime example, recent position that I had, I was employed in a fast food chain, and there were a lot of younger people than myself, more millennials, Gen Zers, and I'm a Gen X, and we clashed a lot. I guess the instant gratification that they were seeking or wanting, everything was so extremely fast-paced. I can move in a fast-paced environment. I do work well under pressure. However, they were making small things to be bigger than what they were, which I thought, for me, I'm a little slower now in my life as far as not being so extremely busy or fast, move, go, go, go. So yeah, that people not getting along doesn't make the workday go any faster. It makes it slower, more tense, not a very adaptable environment to work in, or one who would want to adapt in that environment. No one really wants to have to work in a hostile environment. And I do adapt well. I'm an Army brat, so I'm able to adapt, and I was able to adapt to that situation as far as working with a lot of Gen Zers and everything being extremely fast-paced, like now, like, and I was able to adapt. I was able to move according to their speed, and also times I would work at my own pace, but still being productive and able to keep up with what all was going on the line. So again, limited time in the workplace. 8 hours is not enough time in the day to do a lot of things that we need or would like to get accomplished. Sometimes there's too much work in the workplace, which affects the time that we are not given or allowed or have enough of to complete the task in the workplace. And people not doing their portion or their part when it's a team effort does slow down the process, which impacts the amount of time we have and or the workload that we would have in a day's time. And the conflict among employees is not a great environment, and it should be avoided at all costs, and should be able to discuss or work together. And it's not personality. We should focus more on principle and the culture of the business versus personalities. Thank you.